Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Krista B from Those Wrestling Girls, and you know I have to tell you about my dope ass rock shirt that I finally got in the mail thanks to Ripple Junction. Ripple Junction is the best place to get all your authentic tees, whether it's WWE, whether it's The Office, whether it's any show that you love and mark over. You go over there, you order your shirt, you put it on, and boom. Also, you have to use the code Those Wrestling Girls to get 15% off your purchase. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to ripplejunction.com, order your shirt, type in the code Those Wrestling Girls, and you're also going to tell them that we sent you. And on that note, it's your girl Krista B, and I am out. Hey everybody, what's up? We're back. It's Those Wrestling Girls. It's your girl Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And today we have a really fun, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I feel like we haven't done a TWG Picks episode in a little while. I feel like it's been like over a year that we did one. So today's episode, I'm going to pick my top 4 or 5, and P's going to pick her top 4 or 5 of the top valet and managers in WWE. Mm-hmm. We wanted to switch it up a little bit. We wanted to bring you guys. And there are a lot of dope women managers in WWE. We can't overlook them. They're kind of like the unsung heroes from WWE.
That's true.
Wrestlers. Sometimes they go above and beyond their like past their wrestler stature, or maybe they'll just kind of get lost in the wayside, which is unfortunate. But at the end of the day, they're there and they do what they do and they did what they did. So I feel like we got to, shine a light on them, spotlight them.
I agree. And this is an episode that people have requested for a long time because manager is a role that a woman typically takes in wrestling, like off bat. Mm-hmm. Like when we were younger, it was, even all our favorites debuted as managers or valets or something like accompanying someone to the ring. It was like not the first thing on your mind that they were actually going to wrestle. Like when you saw, I'm not going to mention any names yet, but when you saw certain women, you never thought about them wrestling. You thought about them being the arm candy to, someone else. And also it was nice to see a female and, on TV and wrestling. So I think it's like a long overdue episode that we're finally doing.
I agree. I felt like, and right before we jumped on here, I thought that we did it already. I'm just like, girl, we did this. Why are we doing it again? But because we've always talked about it in previous episodes and we spoke to our Twitter followers, our Twitter fam, that's what made me feel like, oh, we did it. But now we're doing it. I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. And do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first in my first?
I want you to go first. And also, I'm just so happy that we came up with this idea and that you wanted to do something different, because this is going to be so fun. And it's so much, it's good to switch it up. So I'm really excited for this episode. Shout out to Krista B for this one.
I appreciate you, sis.
Excited.
Okay. So my first pick is the one and only, and I feel like you're going to pick her too, but I'm going to just say it first. All right.
Okay.
It's the one and only Terry Runnels.
Oh, so I love her.
I'm sorry, but every time I think of Terry Runnels, she was manager, of course, to Goldust when they were married. She was the manager of the Hardy Boys. She's done a lot in the company. She's been working for the company for God knows how many years now. And it's like when she came out during Attitude Era time, even a little bit before then, right? When it was that golden era transfer into, we don't know what that little area was, to Attitude Era. She came out like badass. The cigar in her mouth, the mink, having Goldust on the leash. It's like she was the pimp and he was the hoe.
Yeah. We love you, Goldust, but I mean,
we don't want to offend anybody. But that was that, and her persona and how she commanded a room when she walked in, because she knew she was just that badass. She was just that queen. She was just, you had to bow down before her
when she came into a room. Like, she commanded and demanded that presence, and she got it. So Terry Runnels is number one for me.
Yeah, I love Terry. I loved, I didn't appreciate her as much as I should have when I was younger, but like when I look back and I see how she used to dress and those gold dresses and the cigar and like the swag that she had, like I was like, oh my God, like why are we talking about Terry Runnels more? Like she is everything. Yes.
Definitely.
And they were definitely doing like some risque things. And, you know, once you get older, you kind of be like, okay, like they were really doing that. Like you kind of got to give them like their props. Like she could have never had someone on a leash and like the way that she had does now. Like I couldn't even imagine, even the crazy stuff that happens now, like that is probably something that would never happen again. So I just think just to have the confidence to do something like that, I think she's so underrated to me. And she's honestly, shockingly, like one of my dream guests is Terry
definitely.
Runnels. Yeah,
Terry, you watched this? I mean, she has interacted with us before.
She has.
It's not like it's far-fetched for her to actually want to be a guest on our show. So hopefully if she watches this, we can set something up. We're going to speak it into existence.
Yes, let's speak that into existence. But that's a good one to start with. Okay, so we're going like present and past, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to just shout out somebody present who I think brought back like how it can be iconic to be a manager, and that's Zelina Vega. And sadly, she's not in the WWE anymore, but she was so good at what she did. Like even from like NXT to when she came to the main roster and was with Andrade, like they came to Raw and made an impact immediately. And it was like his talent and like her on the mic, and everything about Zelina was fire to me. Like she always came out dressed so like I always looked forward to her outfit. She always looked fabulous. Sometimes she would come to the ring in like 5-inch heels, and I'm just like, and doing like wrestling moves too. So she was one of those managers to me where I was torn when she started wrestling again, because I wanted her to, because I know she can wrestle, but then I'm like, damn, but you're so fucking good as a manager. You're so good on the mic.
Right.
And she was the one that like made it kind of like, she brought back to me the role of like being a really effective manager. And I was so sad to see them break up, and two, you know, to see her leave. But she, to me, was like one of those like talents that I'm really like gonna miss seeing.
I agree. Zelina Vega, she kind of grew on me. I'm just like, right, she's like a little pipsqueak. Pluck her, get out the way, you know. But her role as a manager, like she really brought Andrade up. You understand? You don't see a lot of like usually when you see female managers, they'll depart from their from the person that they're managing, and then they'll like go down by the wayside, and then that superstar levels up. And with her, they did it together. They were a team, and then she started managing Angel Garza and then Austin Theory before he went back to NXT. And it's like it's because of her their climb, their trajectory went up. Instead of, you know, forget about the manager, we're just going to focus on the wrestler. She made it, you know, so that everybody sees them as one, as an inner circle. Yeah. So
she really did.
No shade to AEW with Inner Circle. I think that's what it is. But that's what that is. That's what that was. And, you know, I applaud Zelina. A lot of females can't stay that long and be a manager, especially now these days. Either they want to be a wrestler or they don't feel the need. They don't have any fulfillment in anything. So they just feel, all right, I'm going to go and do what I need to do elsewhere. And she stuck it out until the very end. Yeah. Unfortunately, like you said, she's no longer with the company due to
lots of
bullshit as reasons. But Zelina, we applaud you, sis.
Yeah, we love you, girl. And another thing I just want to mention about her really quickly is how well she kind of carried that pandemic era last year. Like there were times where she was on Raw like 3 times, like either on commentary or wrestling sometimes, or just, you know, making an appearance. So she was definitely one of those people that held it down during that time. So that's another reason why I feel like it's so unfortunate that things end up how they ended up, but I think she left a really good legacy in WWE. And we say it all the time, like, are people ever really done with WWE? Like, it's people you would never think would be a part of things that come back. So I'm leaving it open.
Oh yeah, facts. Me too. So Zelina, we'll see you down the road, sis.
Yeah,
That's what we're gonna say. Okay, my second manager, who I feel, and this is going to be shocking for you that I'm about to say this. And I feel like you might pick her too, or maybe not.
I think I know who you're going to say.
I have to go with Lana.
Oh, I did not expect that.
See?
Oh my God.
Nobody expected that.
Yes, I'm so proud in this moment.
So I went with Lana because, of course, she came out as the ravishing Russian, alongside Rusev, her husband, and people really didn't take to her. She did her thing as a heel manager. Mm-hmm. She really didn't take to her. What I did appreciate for her as a manager, she did all of the stunts. Like she was with the shits. You understand? Like a lot of managers really weren't really with the shits. They would cheer on from the sidelines, but no, like when The Rock came out at that Barclays Center that I was supposed to be at, but that's another story for another day. And them two were kind of having some banter until Rock and Rusev got into it or whatever. And then the wedding with Lana and Rusev and Roman came, and Lana hit the cake, and and all of that stuff. But she just kept growing into her character, into her role as a manager. She was a really good manager.
She really was.
To wrestle, I was kind of like, girl, stay a manager, please. That's for you. But now, like, she is dominating with Naomi in this women's tag team division. And it's just like, I like the fact that she can now prove that she can be both. So if she ever wants to be a manager again, she could switch it and be like, no, you could do this, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. She can take charge of what she wants and what is hers, and have nobody have any say in what she says, because she runs the shit. So yes, I pick Lana.
Oh my God, I'm so happy about that. And
I'm proud of myself for having an open mind about it.
Yes.
I wasn't really feeling Lana, not as a person, just I didn't know where they were going with her character, and it was kind of like upsetting me. So yeah,
I feel you. And I how I feel about Lana. And she was a great manager, especially when she was the Russian, like the ravishing Russian. That was perfect to me. Like,
I feel like I was more here for her suits and her heels too.
Right,
because she wore them heels in. Like, I mean, me and P, we wear heels when we need to wear heels, but girl, not on my feet all the time like that.
Not like that. I gotta give it up to that. And I love that she has both skills now, which is what she always wanted, like just from watching like Total Divas. So if she, just like Zelina, she wants to wrestle, she's a wrestler, she wants to be a good manager, she could be a good manager. If she goes to another promotion, she could always do like the Russian thing again. Like she has like so much potential to do like so much dope stuff. It's so like that's the second one that you took that I was gonna pick, but I'm glad because you picked Lana, so everything is good. Okay,
everything is right with the universe now, guys.
Yes. All right, so the next one I'm gonna pick is someone else that I really, really wish that I experienced, like when she was living, and like the timing just was off with Sensational Sherry. I think she is like everything you would ever want in like a female superstar. Like she could wrestle, she was tough, she was beautiful, she looked fabulous, she was great on the mic. Like she was probably I think she's probably up there, like maybe number one best manager. I think, like, just going back into some of the people that she's managed, like I hate to always mention him, but like it's hard not to when you think about like the 80s. But like Macho Man,
I mean, he dominated the 80s. We got to give him his credit where his credit is due. The 80s Hulk Hogan, is lovable. The Hulk Hogan of today can
disgusting,
kick rocks bare feet.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, that just made my feet hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everyone she's managed has ended up being somebody, and it got to the point where, like, you know, when the wrestler is a star and like being associated with them rubs off on you, and then like she became the star where it's like if they are associated with her, then they are better. So like you see her evolve from like, you know, the Hulk Hogan and Macho Man storylines to I think she did something with the $1 Million Man at one point, and then you see her go to WCW and do like what she did with Harlem Heat, who was like two black men that was like dominating that tag team division, and they were elevated due to her presence. And then you see her later on go back to WWF at the time and then do what she did with like Shawn Michaels and stuff. So, and then she even popped back up and did something with like Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels storyline. So it's like she literally had everything that it takes. And then when she did wrestle, you know, she was a good, you know, a decent, you know, female wrestler. So it's unfortunate that she didn't get to like live up to her potential or get the opportunities like that the women have now. Because who knows where she could have gone.
She could have. I definitely see her as a mentor figure. Definitely, if she would have, if her life wasn't cut so short, you know, she's probably somebody that everybody looks up to. Definitely, I feel like she could have had that, but it's unfortunate. But I'm glad that we have the memories of her, and I'm glad that we have women now who can look at her and see what they want to be and see what they don't want to be and how they can make it their own and still like pay homage to those who came before them. And Sensational Sherry is definitely one of those women who should have her flowers all the time.
Oh, definitely. And I believe she's in the Hall of Fame. I know I should know this because we just did a Hall of Fame episode. Check that out. But I think she was good too, because even when she was like, I think Scary Sherry, like it was still good. Like I love that she could be like quote unquote scary, but also have like cute dresses on and heels. But then we'll get in the ring and do what she has to do.
Tear that ass up.
And there wasn't a lot of women out there that was really doing that. And I'm very surprised that WWE doesn't elevate her more than they do, because she was one of those women that was like, would probably be one of two women featured on a show or something, and like mixing it up with everybody, Dusty Rhodes and shit. Like
she could have been like on Legends House,
right?
That was
oh my
thing,
god,
you know?
Yeah.
Well, so my third pick, sorry P, is the one and only Debra. Sorry. I feel like I'm reading her mind today, and I feel like I'm purposely taking them, but I promise you that's not what it is. But I feel like Debra does not even get half the recognition she deserves. You understand? Like, she started out with Jeff Jarrett. Well, she came into the screen with Jeff Jarrett for us. I don't know exactly like how and where she started out in the wrestling career, but she was introduced to us during Attitude Era with Jeff Jarrett. She was his manager. You know, Jeff Jarrett went ape shit, talking about men do this, women do that, or whatever. Debra put her foot down. She's like, nope. She was now it's unfortunate, but then it was just like, if you heard the word puppies, you know where it came from. Like, it's to the point where people had signs like makeshift boobs talking about puppies and puppy eyes, like boobs made it was crazy. It's crazy. But Debra, she was very stylish. She was very classy, and she was sassy too. If she had that mic, or if she said something backstage, she would not take anybody's bullshit at all. I love the fact that she was able to stand up to Vince. I love the fact that she had many, many bouts with Stephanie. I love the fact that she even stood up to Austin at one point. But then, you know, things happened, life got in the way, and she was just like no more, like on TV. I don't even know if they like let her properly exit out, or she just wasn't seen anymore.
I don't know if it was one of those things where like her contract expired and they were like, all right, bye, or she chose to leave. I'm not sure. I do know that she was married to Stone Cold, and it wasn't really good at the end.
It wasn't a good experience.
And they might have left at the same time, or maybe she left after him, something like that. But I remember her vividly. Like, I was a huge Debra fan as a kid for some reason. Like, maybe because everything associated with Stone Cold to me was just like, it was like you just fuck with it. And then, like you said, she was
Go ahead.
She was super stylish. I loved her suits. Like, first of all, say your line, please, from the Attitude Era. Please say your line. Because
y'all, the Attitude Era really fucked us up.
Yes, because I'm thinking of Debra's suits and how they were literally
it was like literally under the boob,
all the way
like
here,
right here,
and then it's literally all bra. I'm just like, and I'm like, yo, she's at like 9, like, yo, she's really rocking that power suit.
Facts. Like, who's wearing all white, all black, all purple, all red? Like, It was a suit for like every occasion. It was just like, yo, sis is doing that.
She really was.
She is doing that. She is killing that.
She really was.
So yes, Debra is definitely
shout out to Debra. She goes down. She has a lot of nostalgia for me. So I'm glad you chose her. Now I'm like I really gotta think like I know one that's gonna like trump that.
What?
Ms.Elizabeth.
I knew he was gonna pick her. I knew you were gonna pick her. I just thought he was gonna pick her last.
I should have probably picked her last. But it was right there. So, yeah, I mean, it's almost like what else can be said about Miss Elizabeth? She was the first lady of wrestling, kind of. She was one of the first, like, beautiful, attractive women that had a role like in storylines and everything. Like it wasn't just like a lady wrestler that was like the bathroom break. Like no, like Miss Elizabeth was a part of the show. And I was, of course, we weren't old enough when she was like on TV.
We weren't even born.
Yeah, we weren't even born yet. So, but like looking back and like hearing people who were alive at that time and just hearing them talk about the magic of Miss Elizabeth and like what she brought to the Macho Man character. Like I've heard numerous people say that like Macho Man wouldn't have been what he was if it wasn't for like the addition of like them together.
I think I agree with that. I really do think I agree with that. Not saying that Macho Man wasn't great in his own, but I've watched Macho Man documentaries. You know me, I'm a historian in WWE. Like I have to go back and watch stuff and even him, like he was like being paired with Miss Elizabeth, like it was better for him because a lot of stuff like that he was saying, he didn't know what he was saying. Like the cream rises to the top promo, he was like, I didn't know what I was talking about. It just sounded good. But then him being with Miss Elizabeth, it also added that extra oomph on TV. Now we know that they were married in real life, and behind the scenes, it was like he was really possessive of her. Yeah. But she didn't really let that stand in the way of doing what she did. You know, after their divorce and they went separate ways, I guess she went on to manage Lex Luger, which ended up very, very controversially. And ended in, sadly, Miss Elizabeth's demise, her passing. But you're right. I feel like if it wasn't for Miss Elizabeth, there'll be no feud with Sherry Martel. There'll be no wanting Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man Randy Savage to come back. Like after Macho Man lost and Sensational Sherry like turned on him, everybody was like, go, like cheering her on. Like that moment is so iconic and so epic in WWE history. Watching her climb over that barricade, going in and beat the brakes off of Sensational.
People were crying
in the audience, like crying. And then the whole wedding scene when they got married and you know, Jake the Snake and the Snake and whatnot. Like she's another one who was like kind of with the shits when it came down to being a manager. Like she wasn't too prissy, although she was gorgeous. She wasn't prissy. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, be with the I'm gonna do it. So that's actually, I'm sorry, that's actually a good choice. I mean, I was not even gonna pick her. I knew you were gonna pick her. So
Yeah, I do. And there's like, when I look back on on the network of old footage of her, and like when she's coming out to the ring, and it's like everything at that time in WWE was so like and like masculine, and everyone was like intense and yelling, and then Ms.Elizabeth was like that breath of like fresh air, where she was just like glamorous and elegant, and like I don't know, like something about her. So I can only imagine
Her
what it
aura
was
was just
like.
like really bright.
It wasn't like, it was, I don't know, it just was nice. And I wish I could have like experienced that, just to see like how it was during that time. Cause I was also like the golden era of wrestling, where like everybody was watching it and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's my other one.
Okay. So I have one. I don't know how you're going to feel about this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. I definitely have to give my hats off to Sable.
Okay.
Sable was definitely a manager before she became a wrestler.
Yep.
She was managing Mark Mero, who was her husband at the time. Every time he came out, she was there. But like I said again, her clout went beyond any other I've seen. Even to this day, there's not a bigger managerial person than Sable. I don't care what nobody's saying. And that's because of the fact, you know, I feel like she was tired of kind of being in his shadow. And she had to do something that's going to like step out and wow and boom. And she's another one who was just like, listen, sex sells. I'm sexy. I'm going to show my body, and I'm going to do this, that, and the third. And that's that on that. And that's what she did. So Sable definitely has some managerial skills. She definitely put her foot in the sand. Like, she put a line in the sand. Like, you're not going to cross this line without me. Like, you're not going to, you cross that line, you're behind this mind type thing. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what we're going to do. Sable definitely made her foot in this industry. It's kind of sad to see that she's not in the Hall of Fame yet either.
That's kind of crazy, because she really was a mega star. Yeah,
but I know there's a lot of like lawsuits that she's had against WWE and Vince.
Yeah.
Like, 1 minute she'll drop them, 1 minute it'll happen again, you know. So, you know, maybe they work things out later on down the line. But Sable, and who can forget her music? That cat,
right? And she would get cheers just as big as some of the biggest stars, like at that time. I can't say that on 316 day. Yeah, The Rock. Yeah, she would get as big as pop as The Rock.
Girl, bye. You got to be real and honest. Before Stone Cold became
on a holiday.
Yes, you have to be honest. If it was The Rock, I'd be the same way. Yes, you have to be honest. So before Stone Cold broke that glass ceiling, and you heard the glass, like before that epic King of the Ring promo where Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass," whatever. The pop, Stone Cold wasn't getting those loud pops. Stone Cold was a mid-carder, and if you watch his interviews, his podcast, he would say so himself. I was mid-card. I didn't know what I was going to do. At that time, yeah, you know, definitely. Yeah, at that time. So Sable's pops were as loud as Stone Cold's were later on down the line. You gotta be honest with yourself, babe. I know.
I knew that was true. I know all of that is true. I just wasn't going to say it on 316 day. It's no reason for me to say it on such a precious holiday.
Listen, it don't make us like Stone Cold Steve Austin any less, does it?
No, it's just one day of the year that I choose not to say anything negative or anything not positive towards the great.
I mean, it's not negative. You said she was getting pops as big as the guys. I said her pop. I was comparing.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. I'm just not going to say it today. That's it, and we can move on.
Okay, guys. Gonna move on from that because I don't want to hurt P's feelings on 316 day.
No, I'm saying that you said you made your point about it, so there's no point of me saying it.
You're right. No point. That's all. I like how you slid. Oh yeah, The Rock though, girl.
Yeah, it's not The Rock's. Not The Rock's holiday.
The Rock is a holiday. We gotta figure out.
That's so like he maybe his anniversary.
Probably May 2nd, his birthday. Maybe his birthday is the holiday. Brahma
or
Bull,
like
Taurus,
Survivor Series season.
Yeah, season. We'll figure it out. We'll talk to WWE about it.
Yeah.
All right, pick your last one.
Who do I want to choose? I think we covered so many good ones. Okay, yeah, I'll say Vicky Guerrero. Yes. She was like in that blind spot for me, like watching wrestling. Like, so I completely missed when she was like on TV. But going back and watching it and just hearing like the impact that she had at that time is really fun, because like who would think that like Eddie Guerrero's wife would be like a star in her own right? Like she really like established a iconic character where she could walk out on Royal Rumble and just say, "Excuse me," with no music, and everyone gets it. And speaking of like crowds, like she would have a crowd literally yelling at the top of their lungs, booing her. Like I remember like a John Cena promo or interview that they were doing in the ring, and they got a kick out of it because she could barely talk because they were booing her so loud. I'm gonna look up what city they were in. And I was like, for her to have that kind of impact is dope.
It's dope. I feel like, yeah, Vicky Guerrero was in that blind spot of me too. But when I did catch it, I remember I caught this one segment with, it was the Shield and Vicky Guerrero, and Vicky Guerrero was like general manager, and something happened to the effect where Roman was meant to give. Roman gave put a laxative or something in Stephanie's coffee, and Stephanie drank it. So Triple H was just like, Vicky, watch after Stephanie. I gotta go get the car. Whatever. It's not looking really good. So then when Stephanie, when they opened the door, it was like projectile vomit all over Vicky. Of course, it wasn't real, but she took that shit like a champ. It was just like going at it, and Roman and Dean and Seth got a kick out of that, and Vicky is one of them. She took one for the team. I feel like she wanted to carry out Eddie's legacy, because Eddie's life was cut very, very short. But in doing so, she created her own. And I don't think she realized that she created her own, but she did. And it was good seeing her at Royal Rumble. It was good trying to make her like, oh, Michelle, oh, that's your friend. It was good seeing that. It was good, like, it was a breath of fresh air seeing it. And I love. The most iconic scene from Vicky is when she won that match that Stephanie gave, when it was Alicia, Layla, and I think Eve. I forget who the third girl was. Oh no, Arian. Arian, yes, sorry. And she won, and Stephanie still kicked her in that vat of whatever it was. And then, Vicky grabbed her, threw her in there. Stephanie ended up catching the eye infection. Karma.
Crazy. You're right.
And she just went out to Eddie's music doing the shimmer.
I love that.
And it was just like,
I love that so
I feel
much.
like I had tears in my eyes. Like I vividly remember watching that match as it was live on TV. Like I was not, I don't know what made me watch it that day, but it's just like, yo, I love Vicky for that. Eddie is smiling so big.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah, I'm glad that we covered like someone like a Vicky Guerrero, because like we're a women's wrestling podcast, so it's like but we always wanted this platform to be about all women in wrestling. So I'm glad that we switched it up and we did a managers episode, and one that we've been wanting to do for a really long time.
Right. Do you have any honorable mentions before we leave out of here?
I do, yeah. So just going off a list, so I guess they put Chyna on this list because she did originally debut as a bodyguard to DX, and then she ended up becoming a star and a wrestler.
I was gonna say Stephanie too.
Stephanie, absolutely. Shout out to Stephanie, yes. And we have a spotlight on her too, so check that out.
Yes, I need to check that out.
Yeah.
Luna.
Oh, definitely. Oh, I love Luna. She is also someone I feel is underrated and had a lot of uniqueness that would have made her like a star today. Like if she
Yeah.
had all the talents and everything and she was now, like she could have gone far. Stacy Keebler, she was definitely a
Yes.
manager and WCW. She made a name for herself actually. And then they kind of made her wrestle in like WWE for some reason.
She had them long legs. That's why.
Yes, yeah, she's fabulous.
Trish
We also
Stratus.
have a spotlight on her too, yo. We got mad
Yes,
episodes.
we do. And we have a spotlight on Trish.
We do have a spotlight on Trish, and she debuted as a
And
manager
she
to
debuted as a manager,
TNA.
TNA.
Yeah, and
We
Lita
have
was a manager at first, but I always saw her as
who?
a manager. I don't know why Lita is on
To
this
S.A.
list.
Rios. S.A.
Yeah, I
Rios
guess.
was a
Oh, and
manager.
then they put to Edge too. So I mean, I guess, but I never looked at Lita as a manager. I was
We
just
also
at
have to
her.
give a mention to. I think Charmel was a manager.
100%. She was
Charmel was a
queen
manager.
to
Queen
King
Charmel.
Booker. He used
Right.
to be like
Summer Rae was a manager for a short while.
Yeah.
Summer Rae played managerial role.
She did. Wasn't she the dancer to what's his name?
Fandango. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. Also, we cannot forget, and I feel like people, when I say this, people probably won't remember her, but Shaniqua. Do you remember Shaniqua?
I did not at all until a few months ago. Somebody was like, something Shaniqua. I think we had like posted about our Women in Color episode, and somebody on Twitter was like, what about Shaniqua? And I was like, I have no idea, like, excuse my, I have no idea who you're talking about. And they was like, come on, like the strut, the this and that. So I looked her up and I was like, oh my gosh, like she okay. And then there was another one. I think her name started with a K. She was black too, I think. And she had a fierce walk. Yes.
So a fun fact, when I
Okay.
started my thesis statement, my thesis statement for grad school, Crystal was one of the women I actually reached out to. And we were like speaking on Instagram and stuff. She's the ex-wife of Bobby Lashley. She has a new husband and stuff now. Yes. You didn't know that?
No,
That's Bobby Lashley's ex, honey.
Oh, all right.
Yes. So yes, Crystal as well. I feel like those two are very underrated. They're not mentioned at all.
Of course.
Like
I wonder
Twitter
how long they were in the WWE. We should do like another
Shaniqua
episode.
wasn't in WWE long at all. Like when I was watching Attitude, I wasn't even Attitude. I'm watching Ruthless Aggression when I figure out which episode I left off on. And Shaniqua came. She was tall. She was slim. She was attitude and fierce, and and she managed two bald head guys. I can't think of their names right now. And like it's like she was in and she was out. That was it. Like she didn't last long at all in WWE. I don't know where she went afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe we should look that up and definitely do a special.
Yeah, like just
her.
like or like a forgotten women episode where it's just like where are they now? That would be fun because I am just genuinely intrigued and I will look this up.
Me too.
Where the fuck are you guys? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, I randomly looked up Debra a couple years ago, and the last that I saw, she had gotten into real estate, and I thought about the power suits. I was like, yo, of course she's selling real estate.
Well, Debra, I'm looking to move this, so I'm gonna hit you up for a house later on down the line or something, right? Okay, cool.
Right. So I have a question for you really quick just to look ahead before we conclude this episode. Who are so now that Zelina is gone, like who do you think can fill that void to be a manager? Let's mention Paige really quickly. She was a general. We should do a general managers episode maybe one day or whatever.
That's true.
But she managed the Kabuki Warriors for like a hot second, but she could potentially
she managed Absolution.
Yeah. So who are some women now that you think, like, let's say they want to take a break from wrestling and they could be Alexa Bliss was kind of something like that. Who are some now that are good on the mic that could be good managers?
I feel like Sonya Deville.
Oh yeah.
Gotta put Daddy Javille up there.
Yes, she could do
I
anything
need to take a
she
moment.
ever wants.
Thanks. I need to take a moment to decide that. I feel like if Lana was to jump back into managerial role, I wouldn't be mad. I feel like who else? Bianca could definitely be manager with
Street Profits.
Bianca could definitely be manager with Street Profits.
Yeah.
I mean, she kind of started out that way before she had her first fight, and she was like, "Girl, when them earrings came off."
Oh, you sounded just like her too. Yes.
That's my sis. That's my sis. Like Bianca, you know, we got nothing but love for you over here. Those wrestling girls.
We so do.
Who else can be a manager? I do want Zelina to come back.
Me too.
I kid you not. I do want Zelina to come back. I really don't see no other female right now at this very moment. Oh, I'm lying. Shotzi Blackheart can definitely be a manager. But she's women's tag. She's NXT Women's Tag Team Champion right now, and she just had a birthday. So
shout out to her. Oh, she's Pisces gang.
Pisces gang all day.
Love it. I would agree with all your picks. I would add Bailey to that only because she's such a jerk.
Bailey Karen.
I guess
Bailey Karen. Yeah.
Like she's such a jerk and she's so good at just like being on the mic and being a jerk. So if she's representing somebody that is like despicable and then she can just talk for them and be a jerk, I think that would be
I can see that. I can see that. You're right, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, this was a super fun, cute episode.
It really was. I can't wait to do more of these.
I know. We definitely have to do a Where Are They Now one. That's
definite. We totally should.
That's definite. Mm-hmm. Make sure you guys follow us on Patreon, subscribe to our Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Those Wrestling Girls, Facebook, Those Wrestling Girls, follow us in our discussion group. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as Ms._Krista B, same as Queen PR, Queen3_PR. Yep. And follow us on TikTok. Those Wrestling Girls.
Yes, follow us on TikTok. And let us know. And let us know any like episode ideas that you want us to do, any like content ideas that you have. Like, let us know. Give us some feedback now because we're about 50 plus episodes in. So it would be actually good to get like a little bit of feedback from you guys. So we would really appreciate that. You know, Twitter, hit us up.
We're always there. Make sure you tune into our Thirsty Thursdays with Face Beat Hip Hop. We love them. Our April 1 is dedicated strictly to Bianca. It's her birthday month. I think we do it the day before her birthday, which is WrestleMania weekend.
Yep. So that's going to be a really fun. Actually, you know what's crazy? And we should start promoting it like this. Thirsty Thursday kind of is kicking off WrestleMania weekend.
It really is.
That is like kicking it off where everybody grab your drinks. It's a Bianca Belair party.
Yes.
I'm already excited. I'm like, okay.
Me too.
Let's go.
maybe I'll have my hair braided, like really long, like in my box braids, and then I'll put it up and have it braided and be like,
maybe I could try to get a Bianca braid. Yes, I'm gonna try to get a Bianca braid. Yeah, something different. Yeah. Oh my God.
Different. Okay. All right, we spilling out all the secrets. We gotta get off this.
Everybody, thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe and all that Krista B said.
Yes, and on that note, it's your girl Krista B
and Queen PR,
and we are out. Bye.